So far, 2026 has been a bit back and forth in terms of game completion. January was very successful, but February was a bit disappointing since I didn't complete a single game. How did March fare? Well, I was able to complete a number of games in March, which is good. Sadly, many of those were shorter games, but completions are completions. In addition, I was also able to play a number of other games in March, even if I didn't complete them. What are those games? Well, let's find out. As I said in the intro, I was able to complete a number of games in March. In total, that came to 4 games. The majority of these were only games that lasted less than an hour to only a couple of hours, but I'll still take the completions. The first completed game is 9 Years of Shadow. I had been playing this Metroidvania over the last couple of months and was finally able to finish it up in March. Maybe it is just because I haven't played a Metroidvania in a while, but I really enjoyed this game. I was a little wary at first due to the fact that the Steam rating wasn't super high, only a mostly positive, but I wound up being pleasantly surprised by this game. 9 Years of Shadow is maybe not the most involved game in the genre, but even with its relative simplicity, I enjoyed the game quite a bit. It was also just a very beautiful game, and I loved the art style that it brought. It's definitely not a perfect game, but I thought it was fun, and its flaws weren't major enough to really reduce my enjoyment of the game all that much. I am planning on putting out a review for this probably as my next video, so be on the lookout for that if you're interested in learning a bit more about the game. Second completed game is The Werecleaner. Have you ever wondered what werewolves do for employment and what they'd do if they had to work night shifts? I hadn't really, but the developers of The Werecleaner obviously were and made this stealth comedy game about cleaning rooms and trying to avoid seeing or being seen by your coworkers while you're a werewolf working mandatory night shift overtime. This is a weird mix of cute, gruesome, and funny all at the same time. It's a free-to-play game and is only a couple hours long to fully complete. I did enjoy my time with it enough to have it make my top 5 free-to-play games on the video that I just put out, so that should give you an indication of how much I enjoyed it. It's definitely a little bit on the darker side in terms of gore and things like that, but there's a cute and a humorous side to the game as well that makes for an interesting mix. Third completed game is Party Anxiety. This was a very short free-to-play experience that I found a bit disappointing. It's one of those games that took like 10 minutes to play, and therefore I won't really be making a full review for it because the review would be almost just as long as you going out and trying it yourself. The basic idea here is that you're playing as someone who has social anxiety, and the only way that you know how to communicate is by using cards or visualizing the conversation as cards or whatever is exactly going on here. There is one person you're trying to communicate with, but it all felt a bit simple to be honest, and there isn't really any actual resolution to the conversation. It's an interesting concept, but the overall experience wasn't really all that enjoyable to me despite its very positive rating on Steam. Maybe I'm just missing something with this game, but I didn't really understand why it was rated so highly. And the last completed game is Ye Guild Clerk. This is another very short free-to-play game that I wound up playing through right near the end of March. Unlike Party Anxiety, I really enjoyed Ye Guild Clerk. In this game, you're a new guild clerk hire that has to make it through their first week of probation to see if you're fully capable of doing the job. This means giving adventurers the quest that best suits them, giving them their proper reward, and a few other random things along the way. Well, this was also not really long enough to give a proper review. I had a lot of fun with it. The fun character designs and the wide range of personalities on display was amusing and kept things interesting. It's pretty simple in a lot of ways, but I enjoyed it and definitely understand its overwhelmingly positive Steam rating. I enjoyed it so much that I wound up playing through this game actually twice, one just to see where I would get with what I would naturally respond with, and then one that gave me all the hearts for all the different adventurers using a guide. I enjoyed it enough to play through it twice, so that kind of gives you a hint of how good I thought this game was. So story games are a bit interesting this month as well. Obviously, I was able to complete a number of PC games and I started a new one this month as well. I also technically completed the story of another game this month, but I'm not sure that I'm completely done with it as of yet. I may try to go for some more trophies in it, so it will stay on here for this month and we'll see where it goes next month. This means that I also added another new PlayStation story game in March as well. So first story game is Yakuza 0. I was finally able to finish Yakuza 0 in March, and I just really still don't know what I think about this game. There is so much about the game that I liked quite a bit, but there were so many things about this game that I didn't like quite as much either. Yakuza 0 to me was a good solid game, but it wasn't a great game. It's a game that has me interested in trying the rest of the series, but not making it a top priority moving forward. I'll have to sort out my thoughts more than that to make a review sometime in the future, but this game has been one of the hardest games to figure out what I think about it and what kind of final rating I want to give it. Second story game is 99 Spirits. This was the replacement story game for the PC after playing a number of other games. 99 Spirits is an odd turn-based RPG that involves figuring out words in order to fight the various enemies in the game. It's based a lot on Japanese folklore, particularly Tsukumogami, everyday objects that come to life. I've found it to be interesting, but the battle system does get a bit tedious after a while. I don't hate it, but in order to unlock all the aspects that the game offers, it can make for some grinding that does kind of wear out its welcome after a bit. I've also had a number of issues with this game crashing on me after playing for over 45 minutes or so, which doesn't help the enjoyment of the game, especially without any sort of autosave feature in the game to help minimize progress loss. So far, I've enjoyed the story, but we'll see how everything winds up going as I continue to progress in the game. Will the grindy gameplay and the technical issues overshadow the interesting story and unique aspects of the gameplay? I'll just have to continue playing and find out. And the last story game is Final Fantasy X. Now that I've finally finished Yakuza 0's story, I'm moving on to my next Final Fantasy game. Final Fantasy X is the last numbered Final Fantasy game that I've actually beaten before. I've played Final Fantasy X-2, Final Fantasy XII, and Final Fantasy XIII, but never wound up finishing any of those. While some of it has to do with not loving the direction the series went after 10, I'm committed to making it through these games this time around, no matter how much I don't enjoy the experience. I haven't had many chances to play Final Fantasy X yet this month. I was able to start the game and get past Besaid, but that's not really too far. The intro to this game was pretty awesome though, so I am very excited about this playthrough. I have fond memories of Final Fantasy X, so we'll see how they hold up with this replay. Moving on from story games, I'll be focusing on games that I call endless games. These are games that don't have clear-cut endings. They can be online PvP, arcade, sandbox, creative, simulation, or party games. There are games here that are monthly regulars and also games that will hop off and on the list depending on the month. There is a good variety of games in the endless category this month. I've played a bit more of a variety, and we've also done some different ones together as a family. It's definitely not the biggest this list has been, but it's not too short either. The first endless game is Fortnite. March was a rough month for Fortnite. While there was the excitement of a new season, it was overshadowed by the turmoil going on behind the scenes. To start things off, Epic announced a whole bunch of changes with V-Bucks. You would get less V-Bucks for the same price, and Fortnite Crew was also going to give you less V-Bucks as well. The Battle Pass is actually getting cheaper. It's going to 800 V-Bucks. Well, not exactly cheaper because of the whole price shift and everything, but the bad news here is that there is no extra V-Bucks going to be in the pass moving forward. You will still be able to earn enough to buy the next pass, but there's no extra V-Bucks so that you can save up and put it towards an extra skin or emote that you wanted in the shop. And this was followed by an announcement of laying off 1,000 workers, including some that had been instrumental to Fortnite and there since the beginning. With this came the announcement that Rocket Racing, Ballistic, and the battle mode of Fortnite Festival would all be shutting down in the near future. About the only real positive news has been that Save the World is going free to play for everyone, but since Epic hasn't been supporting it all that much in recent years, I'm not sure how good that news really is. None of this makes Fortnite seem like it is in a healthy spot at the moment. I don't really know what this means for me and my family moving forward. We'll probably still continue to play Fortnite, but I could see it dropping off for us more than it already has. It's sad and feels like the whole situation hasn't been handled the best by Epic's CEO. I guess we'll see what the future of Fortnite looks like as we move forward, but it's not looking great at the moment. As for the new season, I have enjoyed it so far. The rivalry system is pretty fun, and I've enjoyed the weapons of the season for the most part. The whole Ice King versus Foundation showdown thing is a bit silly, and there have been some technical issues, particularly with readying up after matches to get into a new match. Even so, it has been pretty fun to play, but Fortnite has a lot of issues to surmount after a rough start to the year. Second in this game is Marvel Rivals. Marvel Rivals continues to be our family's go-to online game these days. At one point, Fortnite held that crown, but as Fortnite has made stupid decisions and had issues, Rivals overshadowed it in terms of how much we played it. In March, Rivals released Season 7, which saw the addition of a new strategist, White Fox. I haven't played her yet, so I don't really know what I think about her. As someone who is mainly playing Vanguard, it seems like she's a bit different to play, and some people have a bit more trouble with that playstyle than others. I've been playing a lot of Emma Frost, but I've also been trying to branch out in terms of Vanguards to give myself a bit more variety. Every once in a while I'll get to play another role, but often there is a shortage of Vanguards, so that doesn't happen all that often. Third in this game is Stardew Valley. We didn't really play Stardew Valley as much as some months. I played my solo modded farm once. I was able to find enough golden walnuts to open Key's room on Ginger Island, but I haven't really done anything with that yet. Otherwise, I've mostly just been trying to make money so that I can continue to purchase the other obelisks so that it's easy to travel to pretty much anywhere I want to go. We also only played our co-op farm once in March. Since we unlocked Ginger Island at the very end of February, we were able to start exploring it. Since I've been collecting golden walnuts on my modded farm, I was able to get us a good start on our collection, but other walnuts will still take some time to be able to get. I think that was probably the biggest development on our co-op farm, otherwise we were just continuing to make money and improve our production. Fourth endless game is Warframe. I played Warframe a few times over the month. Most of this was just playing with the kids when they had days off of school. We were able to get through an arbitration mission together, at least when we came fully prepared. We also just did some relic farming as well. I did also play a little bit on my own, but I didn't really do too much of note when I did that, mostly go after Nightwave quests, I think. So yeah, not really too much. There was a new update near the end of March, but I haven't really played it yet, so I can't really tell you what I think about that. Fifth endless game is Marble Snap. I've still been playing Marble Snap during March, but I've definitely dropped off playing it as the month progressed. I might still play it every once in a while, but I don't really see me playing it a lot. It can be fun, but it can also be super frustrating, and it requires so much grind in all of the systems it has, from ladder to conquest to all of the various limited time modes. I don't really want to get back into that grind since it gets really frustrating in some of them where you can play a lot and make like zero progress on that grind. So I may play every little bit or so, but I think it's safe to say that Snap just asks for far too much and gives far too little, and I'm not really interested in that. Sixth endless game is Lone Survivors. I've moved this from story to endless as I've just been playing this for fun and trying to get through more of the content available. There have been a steady stream of updates for this game throughout March. These have been updates to balance and fixing bugs, but there's also been new content added throughout the month as well. I would say that the game has improved quite a bit in some ways. Sadly, there are still bugs that occur as well with these updates, which hampers that improvement. I would say that it's close to being probably a point higher than what I rated it on my original review. It maybe hasn't quite hit that yet, but it's getting very close. I've been enjoying the new content like the new boss rush mode, the extra ascension level, and adding skill unlocks to endless mode. These are all pretty great additions, and I've been enjoying trying to unlock things and earn enough money to actually get the new skills that are unlocked. It definitely adds a good amount of stuff to do, and I've been enjoying playing through it. The most recent update also added more achievements, so this actually might move to the achievement category as I try to work through all of the achievements in the game and see if I can get back to 100% achievements in it. And the seventh endless game is Minecraft. I hadn't played Minecraft in some time, but our family decided to start a new world and play it again. We've started a number of worlds over the years, and this is just our latest. Minecraft is a fairly chill game that is so easy to spend quite a bit of time playing. I've played it a number of times throughout the years, but I have yet to do a number of things in the game. I've never been to the end or beaten the Ender Dragon. I've also not really done a lot with the content from more recent updates. So time will tell if this world will change some of that, or if we'll drift away from it before we get to any of that later game content, like we've done in the past. Again, I only had one game that I wound up getting any progress on achievements for. I haven't really taken a lot of time to chase after achievements in March. I really wanted to focus on getting through my story games, which I did, but this didn't leave a lot of time for achievement hunting. The only game that I was able to do this with is Ys Origin. I didn't play a lot in March, but I did grind a level or two and defeat the boss that I was stuck on in February. Even though I didn't play a lot, I still made progress. I'm definitely getting close to my first completion on Nightmare difficulty, but I think I have to do it with 2 other characters as well, which is kind of a bummer. I may wind up taking a break from this game and move on to another game for a bit when I get through the story with Unica on Nightmare, but we'll see when I actually get there. And that's what I played in March. I was able to fully complete 4 different games and finish up the story on another, even if I didn't fully complete everything about the game. That made me really happy, and while this likely means that April will not be nearly as productive, I'm at least getting through a good number of games every couple of months or so. I'm hoping I'll at least get 1 or 2 games done in April, but I guess we'll just have to wait and see. What have you been playing in March? Let me know in the comments. It's always fun to see what others are playing and if you would recommend those games. I hope everyone had a great month and that you've been playing games that you enjoy. That's all for me though, so I'll see you in the next video.